I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done.
The Democrats are back at it again. And it's like these folks do not learn. They just don't get it. They're doubling down. As a matter of fact, they're using the same exact playbook from 2016, the same exact playbook they used through from 2022 to now, failing to realize that the American people gave President Trump a mandate. Every single thing that he's doing, he ran on it. He promised it, whether it be having Elon Musk by his side, whether it be having the Doge department go through and catch all discretionary spending that's being wasted, whether it be getting the hardened criminals, the illegal immigrants out of our country, securing the border, whether it be making us more energy independent. Every single thing that President Trump has promised, he's doing, including bringing the hostages home from Israel and bringing peace to the Middle East. And so because he's done such a great job, the Democrats are at it again. On the House of Oversight today, it was announced that articles of impeachment are going to be set in play for President Trump. And you remember the hoopla and the BS that we went through but in his first administration, that all turned out that Russia was a hoax from Adam Shifty Schiff, the pencil neck. Well, I'm not going to even talk a lot. I'm going to let these Democrat libtards let you hear exactly what their big gripe is and why they want the president impeached. And then I'm going to share my commentary.
The role of Elon Musk. It's a puzzling role for many people, certainly on this side of the aisle, and I think for some on yours. Who is this unelected billionaire that he can attempt to dismantle federal agencies, fire people, transfer them, offer them early retirement, and have sweeping changes to agencies without any congressional review, oversight, or concurrence? Therefore, Mr. Chairman, given his prominence and his importance, I move that the committee subpoena Elon Musk to come before it as a witness at the earliest possible moment.
It's on the campaign.
You know what's crazy? They want to subpoena Elon Musk to come in at the earliest possible moment, but they fought tooth and nail to keep Hunter Biden from having to testify when he was subpoenaed. Now they care about unelected bureaucrats having input in the president and in the White House. But for 4 years, we know that Joe Biden did not run this country. He wasn't even sane. He was senile. And nobody asked any questions like who's making the decisions? Who's calling the shots day to day? We know that Joe Biden was, I believe they said, done working by 4 o'clock. He had a 10 to 4 shift. And we know that the presidency isn't a part-time job. So who was making those decisions? Who made the decisions to pardon over 4,000 people? It for damn sure wasn't Joe Biden. And so the Democrats, they make me sick. Now it's so important to know who's involved in decisions. It's so important to make sure that people get subpoenaed to testify. But Hunter Biden didn't have to testify. Matter of fact, they helped him block from having to testify. They stood up on the House floor and gave every reason why he shouldn't and why he was just a poor little man getting picked on and how the president just loves his son. Bull crap.
Trail, Donald Trump said on August 15th, 2024, grocery prices have skyrocketed. When I win, I will immediately bring down prices starting on day one. You don't dispute that, right?
That was a statement, yes.
Unfortunately, the price of groceries and eggs have only risen since Donald Trump took office. According to the USDA, the wholesale cost of a dozen eggs has increased from $6.59 on Inauguration Day until now it's $7.53, a 14% increase. Again, you don't dispute that, right?
No.
I assume you're not happy with this particular increase either, right?
I wish the bird flu wasn't around, but it is.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. According to PBS and Axios, some of the reasons for high grocery prices and high egg prices are avian flu and recalls related to salmonella and listeria. You don't dispute that, right?
Correct.
My staff went back and checked the hundreds of executive orders that have been issued by Donald Trump, and yet not a single one has mentioned the words avian flu. You don't dispute that, right?
As far as I know, that's.
These people get on my nerves. Now, nobody spoke about the fact that Joe Biden ordered the slaughter of over 100 million chickens. Nobody talks about that. The mainstream media won't even talk about the avian flu that spread throughout chickens and that one huge distributor had to slaughter all of his. And then Joe Biden ordered the slaughter of another 100 million chickens. Who made that decision? Were those chickens even necessary to be slaughtered, or were they setting up the stage to give Democrats like this person, who has nothing to stand on, who has no agenda besides the woke agenda that the Democrats have been trying to push that the Americans rejected? He's in there talking about eggs while we got all types of stuff going on around the country, far more important than the fact that Joe Biden, under his administration, eggs shot up 60% in 2024. Nobody's talking about that. But of course, Trump being in for 2 weeks, they're going to highlight how the price increased. And as his own board says, January the 19th, that was the day before the man was in office. So whatever set that off, obviously, he's not even wise enough to pay attention and see that his own board is giving, his own display is giving away the fact that this increase started before he even took office. And how much of this stuff do you think is intentional that they're trying to do? And just rest assured, a bill right now is being drafted up by Congress that President Trump wants across his desk that will lower costs on groceries and energy right now. So get ready.
Correct.
At this very moment, an unelected, unaccountable billionaire is raiding our government. And instead of raising the alarm, the Oversight Committee, let me repeat that, the Oversight Committee is running cover as their president strips the government for parts. 2 weeks in, here's where we're at. President Trump attempted to freeze funding for vital programs, tried to make it easier to fire tens and thousands of federal workers, pressured more to resign, and has attempted to bust union contracts. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, who has been tasked with running a fake governmental department, now has access to the federal payment system and apparently the personal information of every American. And none of this is happening with congressional approval. And apparently, my colleagues, the Republicans on this committee, also want it to happen without any congressional oversight. This is no way to govern, but they know that. Instead, they want to bully and intimidate federal workers into submission. They want to replace experienced workers who are loyal to the country with lackeys loyal to one man.
How much did...
Look at who they're standing in there fighting for. They're literally in there upset because Donald Trump came in. And let me tell you the package that he offered to the federal workers, in case you don't know. Do you know that any federal employee that was working remotely, he gave them the option to either return back to work or resign with saying that, send an email back saying that you resign, and you will get severance pay up until September the 1st, full benefits until September the 1st. You don't have to touch any work. Matter of fact, you won't even be able to log in, but you will still get paid until September the 1st. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about the fact that certain agencies within the government were staffed with a little over 90% of people who had either donated to Democrat candidates or donated to Democrat causes or just flat out supported certain Democrats, candidates and president. They don't talk about that. They're not talking about the fact that this same bureaucracy within the deep state, the swamp, were the same ones that tried to subvert his first administration and made it harder for a lot of the things that he wanted to get done. But now he knows how. Then he's the first one to ever be in office and win, then be out 4 years, and then be able to come back. Can you imagine the wisdom that was gained in those 4 years sitting out on the sidelines and watching while being attacked, and every single Democrat operative, every single adversary showing their head because they never expected this was going to happen. And now it is. They exposed themselves. They showed their hand. And just like any coach does with any team, or when a company merges, what do? They scan out and look and see what type of players they have. And if they can help run that coach's or that corporation's vision through. And those that can will stay. Those that can't are gone and will be replaced by ones that the coach or the corporation feels are the best fit for that culture. And that's what President Trump is doing. And they're pissed off about it because that Democrat slush fund that they've had for years, that piggy bank to push that woke ideology, has been busted. And they don't know what to do with themselves. They never intended that this man would be back. And they know that he's back with a vengeance. The only difference is everything he's doing is legal and legitimate, and the people voted for it. The people are behind him this time. This is not 2016 Democrats. This is 2025. And Papa got a brand new bag for you.
Elon Musk donate to Republicans in the 2024 election, right? Almost $300 million. And in fact, Mr. Musk was the single largest donor in the last cycle. I'm not sure if you knew that or not in this last election. And here's actually the article in the headline from the Washington Post. Elon Musk puts 277 million into the election. He's 200 billion richer this year. 200 billion richer this year. Now, we also know that just in the month after the election, Elon Musk's wealth increased by $170 billion. Should also not be a surprise to anyone that Elon Musk himself holds $20 billion in contracts with the federal government. Now,
I guess that would make sense, seeing as he's one of the most successful, one of the smartest, and one of the most innovative business people, business minds, or minds, period, on the planet. And remember, just a year ago, when the Democrats thought that Elon was on their side, he was the greatest thing walking. They bragged about him left and right. But now that he's rolling with the MAGA team, he's unintelligent, his products aren't good, and everything he does is a problem. Yeah, the man made a few billion, but compare that to what he's actually worth, that's a fraction of his worth. And guess what? I believe if you track and trace everything Elon's doing, he's adding more value than he's taking out value. Please believe that. And if you're enjoying this video, do me a solid. Hit that like button. I'll never ask you for a cash app. I will never ask you for a super chat. But your like is currency. It helps spread the video. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. On this channel, I share sales strategy, political, and current event topics. So subscribe. And when you do, hit the notification bell and select all. That way, you'll be notified when I upload new videos.
is that Doge isn't really about efficiency or reform. What Donald Trump and Elon Musk are actually engineering is the single largest wealth transfer in history. And to pay for the enormous tax cut that's about to come to this Congress in the months ahead, they need to slash spending by trillions of dollars. In fact, Elon Musk himself has said that he wants to slash $2 trillion, $1 trillion from the actual budget. Now, in Trump's first term, we know that he already had a huge tax cut for the richest Americans and corporations. Now he wants to slash it by 1/3 more. But
you know what they never tell you is that Trump's tax cuts were not just for the rich and wealthy. They were actually for the middle class. Why do you think the Biden administration, they never stopped them? Matter of fact, they enjoyed them. They didn't stop them because they knew what that would do. And so when they always talk about these tax cuts for the middle class, but Joe Biden was from the bottom up, which means that you squeeze the bottom where the top get rich, and people didn't catch that. They said from the bottom up, from the middle end. That's what that means, where trickle down means from the wealthiest and let it flow down. And it has to, in order for those jobs to be created, for those companies to be expanded, there has to be some type of incentive. And these Democrats, most of them have never ran a business, have never had to balance a budget, have never had to hire and fire people. So they stand and grandstand and say all of these great ideas and sell it to ignorant people, and ignorant only meaning lacking in knowledge. And they say right on, not understanding that that is socialism 3.0 that the Democrat Party pushes. And this dude Garcia is one of the biggest socialist agenda pushers out there. He's a Hispanic gay man that plays on that from California. He lives in bizarro world all the time. We should never listen to liberals, from liberal politicians out of California. Oh my God, look at how well they're running California. And he's got the nerve to talk to one of the richest, one of the most intelligent, one of the most innovative, two of the most innovative, wealthiest people on the planet, being Elon Musk and President Trump. Get out of here. These people are crazy. They make me sick.
Here's the truth. In order to actually get more funds for their tax cut program, they need to slash trillions. And where are they going to do? Veterans benefits, USAID, and eventually Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message. To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke, especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, when he has the ability to perfect what he says. Ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed, knowing the history of his people, to stand there and allow such things to be said. Ethnic cleansing has been a crime against humanity. And I stand here today in the well to denounce what was said, to denounce what the president said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. and injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass up movement, not a top down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment, and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I. And I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. On some issues, it is better to stand alone than not stand at all. On this issue, I stand alone, but I stand for justice. I yield back the balance of my time.
Okay. Is it me or is the Democrat Party the only ones who take people that lose and they are so excited? Like he just said, yeah, I'm the one that brought it before. You struck out twice, buddy. 0-2. Or Kamala Harris, oh, she's the greatest candidate. She struck out in the 2020 campaign. Didn't win any elections. Then their campaign advisors, they literally had campaign advisors that had never won campaigns, getting paid buku money. And as you heard, Lindy Lee, the fundraiser from the Democrat Party, who is now the lead fundraiser, one of the lead fundraisers for the Republican Party. Isn't that wild? The lady that brought in tens of millions of dollars that was treated so disrespectfully now realizes that on this side, you can have a difference of opinion. You can speak your mind and you'll still be welcomed. Over there, if you don't vote blue no matter who and fall in lockstep, you are extracized, you are canceled, and it's over for you. They will destroy your life and your career. Luckily, though, we got the right man in the White House. So I just wanted to jump in and share that with you. I really do appreciate you watching. Remember to like the video, share the video, hit that share button, and remember to subscribe if you haven't. Other than that, I'm Brian Maxwell saying thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out.